Or
losing a loved one is always challenging, but what we fail to sometimes realize is there's a business that comes with saying goodbye. Terry Mills discovered this during his journey alongside his terminally ill brother and shares the experience in his book, The Escort, Walking to Eternity with My Brother. Dr. Mills is a professor at John Carroll University. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Lori. Pleasure
Sorry
to be
about
here.
the loss of your brother, but you're trying to turn it into something good, right?
Oh, very definitely, absolutely.
So, and you've even taught college students about death and dying and talking to them. One day you're going to get this phone call that your parent is dying. Did any of that background help you with dealing with your brother?
Yeah, in many ways, you know, and talking to the young people, my students, it was difficult for them, even in this abstract way, to envision the death of a loved one. And I would always tell them, prepare yourself, you're gonna get this call. And it was this abstract thing. But then suddenly I got that call, and I was able to find strength in that advice that actually was now a reality for me. Absolutely.
Yeah, that call is a hard one.
Definitely.
And you say this isn't a story of grief, it's a story of hope and love and the business of death and dying. So what do you mean about the business part?
Well, of course, there is that grief, that obvious grief that one goes through, but behind that grief are things like preparing wills, finding paperwork for your loved ones, dealing with the doctors and the social workers, and all of those kinds of things that perhaps we don't actually think about when we're in the midst of our grief, but yet those business activities have to go on at the same time that one is working themselves through grief.
All right, so planning is a big part of getting ready for it for yourself.
Yeah,
huh?
if one could plan, that would be the better thing to do.
Yeah, and many people don't do that, though.
No doubt.
So we've got the business end of things. What about the love and hope side of things?
Well, again, getting this call unexpectedly and having to redirect my life and to really switch gears was at the same time somewhat of a burden, if I could say it that way, although I wasn't actually burdened by it. But to change your schedule and to have to redirect your life can be disruptive in many ways. But at the same time, the love of my brother and the fact that he had told the doctors, call my brother and he'll take care of everything, you know? And so the thing is, well—
So he trusted you a lot.
Yeah, definitely, but I wasn't sure what everything was. And so one only finds that when they're in the battle, as it were.
In the midst of it.
Yeah.
So did your family rally around?
Well, interestingly enough, while we would hope that there'd be this family solidarity, but in many times these situations also result in conflict among family. And so with my brother's children and other friends and relatives, there's a certain underlying tension that was going on. You know, how come he asked you to do it? You know, we could have done it better, you know, those kinds of things. Yeah.
So your brother died a couple of years ago. Was it hard for you to write this book then?
It was, and even in reading the book now, I have those memories and those recollections, but at the same time, it was in many ways an homage to my brother, but I think more importantly for those who have those experiences, to be able to talk about death and dying in not this gruesome way. Hopefully the book has some humor and some poignant places, but to allow folks to think about their own transitions or the transitions of their family members and not in this dark way. So there's a lot of humor and things in the book, but still there's that business that goes on.
All right, very interesting. There is no way to truly prepare for the process of saying goodbye to someone we love who is dying. Still, it can be helpful to learn from other people's experiences. The Escort, Walking to Eternity with My Brother, is a truly touching tale of the emotions and the business end of traveling alongside someone who is facing death. My thanks to Dr. Mills for sharing a part of his story with us here today.
Thank you so much, Lori. Appreciate it.
for more information about The Escort, Walking to Eternity with My Brother, call Dr. Mills at 216-397-4455 or order the book from Amazon at www.amazon.com. Next.